Disturbing story out of Florida tonight, where a father says that the Clay County School District secretly transitioned his 12-year-old daughter without his knowledge, which was a major contributing factor in her attempting suicide not once but twice. The father, well, he is now standing up and suing the school district over all of this madness and all of these abuses, laying out numerous civil rights violations. And get this, while the school district told us in a statement that the allegations are, quote, completely false, well, the district's legal filing tells a totally different story because, according to the defendant's motion to dismiss, the district appears to concede the facts of the case, but argues they had no duty to inform the parents about the gender transition. And meanwhile, good news across the state of Florida last night, as woke school board members were ousted in elections all across the free state of Florida. And according to the 1776 Project, well, conservatives won major school board victories in counties including Clay County and Sarasota and Miami-Dade and many more. Here with more is the father in the lawsuit, Wendell Perez, along with his attorney, Vernadette Broyles, is with us. Wendell, first, let's go through the facts a little bit in this case. So you get a phone call with your wife that your daughter tried to hang herself in a school bathroom. She's only 12 years old. You were then informed that the motive was her ongoing gender identity issues, something you and your wife were not aware of. And then you were told that your daughter at school had been referred to by male pronouns and otherwise encouraged to act male. Now, is the district actually acknowledging all of that is true? And why didn't they bring you into the loop? You know, your daughter's only 12 years old. Why didn't they tell you?
That's something that they're going to have to answer. Certainly, apparently, they found that we were unfit to be to taking care of our daughter on this issue. They mentioned there when we were in this situation that it was also because of our Catholic Christian beliefs. And when I questioned them about the lack of parental notification in this case, they said that there were confidentiality issues that prevented them from telling us about it.
Wait a second. Who are they to tell you you're unfit and then say they are more fit to guide your daughter in such a controversial way? Who do they think they are?
Or certainly, they think that they are the parents. We were completely erased from the picture until my daughter attempted suicide. That's when they decided to notify us about what was going on.
Well, okay. Well, let me ask you, Vernadette, you know, you would think in their motion to dismiss that they would say it didn't happen. That was not in their motion to dismiss. As a matter of fact, they concede that the alleged facts are true, arguing that they had no duty under the law to inform the parents. So isn't that an admission that they did all of it, even though they denied it publicly?
Well, they're not able to deny the facts because the facts happened as we have described. And they're attempting to assert a non-existent right of privacy of minor children against their own parents. That is a non-existent right. And Sean, what is most important for your viewers to understand is that the nightmare that this family has experienced is set to become the potential nightmare of families across the country. As you know, I'm sure, Sean, that the Biden administration is seeking now to change the rules that apply Title IX, the civil rights law in 1972, that ensured girls would have equal access to education and sports opportunities. They now want to expand that through regulation to include gender identity. What that will do is that it will force as a federal mandate that every school has to adopt the tenets of gender ideology and immediately affirm any child who asserts a gender identity contrary in school, socially transitioning children at school, and there's no requirement of notification or consent of parents. In addition to, so that is going to place children in harm's way. Why? And I'm sure you know, Sean, because children that are socially transitioned are very, very, very likely to move on to then surgical and chemical changes to their bodies while they're still developing. This will interfere with their physical development. It leads to treatments that end in sterility, infertility, and lifelong sexual dysfunction. And finally, perversely, it will harm girls because girls will no longer be able to demand their private spaces be exempt from males, and they will be forced to compete against biological males in sports. This is devastating. We have until September 12th to go onto the Federal Register site, flood them with comments as to the harms this will cause, to either delay this massive nonsense or to set in motion things that will allow other parts of the government to shut this down.
Thank you for being with us.